this interview. All right. Yeah, I used to I do. What's up, guys? Welcome back to MacDee. Today I'm joined by Lance Corporal Christopher Ayers, and who is a Marine Corps Reservist. So we have a really cool opportunity today. He's been in for 3 years, but we'll get to that all later. We're gonna start off with our warm-up questions. So, Lance Corporal Christopher Ayers, what is your favorite fast food restaurant?
Favorite fast food restaurant? Probably gonna be In-N-Out. I was California raised, so I do like some In-N-Out.
You get some pushback from that, you know?
You know it,
All
probably.
right. What's your favorite item on the menu?
It's gonna be the double-double.
Double-double, and is that
pretty basic.
2 patties and 2 cheese?
Yeah.
2 patties and 2 cheese. Very good. What is your favorite holiday?
It's probably gotta be Thanksgiving. I do like me some pie.
Some pie?
Yeah.
Are you a turkey or ham kind of guy?
I'm a turkey kind of guy.
You're a turkey kind of guy?
I'm
Okay,
totally
cool.
a turkey guy.
Awesome. What is a favorite place you've traveled to in the U.S.?
Probably gonna be Marathon, Florida. That was pretty fun when I went there. I say fun, but it was fun for me, not for everybody, but it was alright.
Got you. So why'd you join the Marine Corps? Why'd you join the military in general?
It was always just been part of my dream. So on my mom's side, no one really joined the military, so I just kind of wanted to be the first. So like since I was 5, pretty much always wanted to join. So always watch like the military channel and things like that.
Yes, they took that off. It's so sad.
Right?
It's so sad.
Whatever, man. So I did some research as I was like through high school and things like that, and I originally wanted to be a scout sniper. You know, like
Ooh,
I always wanted to
cool.
be those people like stereotypical,
Special
I guess.
ops.
Yeah, like everyone wants to be that, right? But ultimately, you can't just sign up for that and sign a contract. So here I am now, but I actually didn't enlist until my senior year of high school when I was 17. I don't know why it took me so long. I just never did it, I guess, until like finally someone asked me to go to a pulley function, and I was like,
Yeah.
Yep.
Same with me.
yeah.
I was
like, I'll
invited to a
finally do
recruiter,
it.
and I was like, yeah, I should probably get around to doing that.
Yeah. So.
Awesome.
And here I am. The rest is history.
Yeah, cool. These 3 years. Awesome.
Right.
So whenever you left initially for boot camp, was there anything hard about leaving?
Not really. When I signed my contract, I did a reservist contract, so I knew that I was coming back. Even though I was gone for about a year for schooling and everything, it wasn't really that tough. So I didn't really. I knew I'd be back. And
Yeah, like you're gonna be at home for most of the time. Yeah. Okay. Cool. At training, did you have a funniest memory?
my funniest memory at boot camp was gonna be the gas chamber. So
It's a good one.
everybody at the gas chamber, it sucks. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty terrible. But the funniest moment would have been towards the end. All right, so you go in, and I was on the last stick, so I had everybody else's gas already in there, and then a new set of gas.
Okay.
Right, and they didn't let us have our gas mask on when we ran in, so we had it off when we first ran in, because they just didn't like us, I guess.
You typically have it on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When you start, typically in the gas chamber, you have it on, but And so my recruiter, all right, he told me just to, whenever they tell you to rip the mask off, to do it as quick as you can. Like, the quicker you do it, the faster it's over.
Fair enough.
Not true.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, that's really good mentality, because the drill instructors will say that whenever you start, or the timer doesn't start until everybody's masks are off, right? So me being like the first one, I like just ripped it off, but then that made me had to wait longer because everybody else
slow and scared.
was not on the same page as me.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so we were at the end of the gas chamber part, and we had to take the mask fully off. So when you first start, you have to just break the seal, right, and then clear it, and then you do like a baseball cap, and then you clear it, and then that's the time. And then at the very end, they put new gas in, and then you have to take your mask fully off, and they want you to put it back on. Now it's just tear gas, so it's not like you're dying, but it feels like you're dying, right? So
yeah.
at the end, all right, we're at the end of our timer pretty much, and this guy, he's like a bigger dude, all right? He starts to panic, this recruit. And we were just told to put our mask back on, okay? So I put my mask back on, and I hear like a commotion across the room from me. And I cleared my mask, and I could kind of see, I was crying because tear gas sucks, but I could kind of see what was going on. He was panicking because he couldn't breathe, and it does feel like he can't breathe, so I understand, but I was getting there too at the end, but then I reminded myself, I was like, it's not. I can actually breathe. It's just I gotta relax and take my breath slow. But he wasn't like that, right? So he started panicking, yelling that he couldn't breathe, wouldn't put his mask back on. So two big drill instructors, all right, my senior drill instructor and somebody else. I don't know who it was, but they like shoulder checked them both into the wall, like pretty hard, and they were like yelling at him to calm down. They yelled some expletives, but I can't say that probably.
Family show.
Yeah, family show.
I try to keep it clean at least.
Yeah, YouTube would demonetize you, something like that, right? So they yelled some things at him, trying to get him to calm down, but he just was not having it. So the drill instructors got tired of it after like 15 seconds, right? So they threw him to the ground, all right, and like he was like face down on the ground. Both drill instructors came up around his armpits and they like picked him up.
Yeah.
And they like dragged him out. And this time, the whole time he's like getting dragged out, friggin', he was like crying and begging, no, I'm sorry, just let me put my mask back on, I'll finish it out. He was like pleading and begging, and drill instructors, if you know anything about Marine Corps boot camp, it's kind of infamous, they don't really care. So they like kick open the door like SWAT team style, and then they throw him out into the sand. So we're up at Camp Pendleton. I'm a West Coast Hollywood Marine, so threw him out into the sand at Camp Pendleton, and then the second the door shut, they tell us to all turn and we run out. All right, so we're running out now of the gas chamber, and here we can take our masks off, and then we're like running like airplanes pretty much with our arms like straight out to the side to get all the gas off, right?
Yeah.
And so I heard behind me after I ran past him, they had picked him up again the same way they dragged him out. They opened the door, threw his gas mask in there, and then they threw him back in and shut it. He had to do it all over again.
Like by himself? Just one?
That was hilarious.
Oh.
That was probably the funniest moment at boot camp.
Yeah.
So
that was super similar to Mr. Black's. They were someone, they had to do it by themselves. Well, they didn't have to do it by themselves, but they had to go back in line and do it again.
Yeah, so like if you're a guide or a squad leader, most of the time the drill instructor will like pick on you and they'll pull you back out, and you'll go do it again. So
were you ever a guide or a squad leader?
No. It was funny enough that one of my drill instructors like walked up to me on graduation weekend. He was like, I don't even know you.
Heck.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Well, I know. And I was like, ouch. Alright.
Well, so do you think the gas chamber was the hardest part for you, or what was the hardest part for you?
Probably not. They do say that it is mostly like mental, with a little bit of physical, and I truly believe that. But like physically wise, we were doing the confidence course, and we were going up like, it's like pretty much like monkey bars, but it like goes up and down, right? Yeah. Like a wave, and I pretty much was right at the end, but I lost my grip at like the high point. Yeah. And me trying to like, and it's like hot metal kind of. But it's not like super hot because it's San Diego. It's just been baking in the sun, so it's just warm. And so my hand slipped off and it like de-skinned both my palms. And so that kind of hurt. It kind of hurt a little bit. Yeah, and they still made us run. Like I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want to get sent to medical or dropped or anything. Yeah, sent to medical platoon. Yeah. So I kept going to the the confidence course, and I did that. That was fun. That hurts, but after that we went back to the barracks and we started doing drill, and so any rifle manipulations I was like using my fingertips because I couldn't hold anything, and whenever you're like doing some of the movements, they want you to like emphasize like click and pop stuff, so you're like hitting your rifle with your palm, and I was like mimicking that because I didn't want to, but it still happened sometimes. Hit it with like the bottom of your fingers. Yeah. There was also one time we were practicing for drill, and I guess I was like perfect. I don't want to say perfect, but my drill hat did not correct me in line, and I was actually asleep, standing up doing drill. And impressive. The second he stepped from me to the next person, I like almost fell backwards, and I caught myself, and he was like, were you asleep? And I was like, yes sir. And another drill instructor like came up and he's like, do you want me to go smoke him? And I was like, he was like, nah, you can do it later, I'm working on drill. I never got smoked for that one. So I successfully fell asleep standing up in the perfect drill position. So
that's impressive. I've only heard rumors of such things. So the first for me.
Yep.
Was there ever a time that you did get smoked for something you just messed up on?
Yeah. There's a couple of times, but one really comes to mind, I guess. I wasn't really doing anything bad. We were, during grass week, I was behind the head with another recruit or whatever, and we were kind of just standing in the shade, talking, like looking over Camp Pendleton. We were just talking about something. I don't even remember what it was. Yeah, and this drill instructor came around the corner, and he was like, "Oh, you guys want to chill, right?" I was like, "Oh man, here we go." So he took our little name tab things, and like a couple days later, he called us onto the quarterdeck, and we got smoked for that one. Yeah. There's that one. I've been smoked for other people's stuff. You pretty much get smoked all the time.
Breathing, just
breathing, yeah.
Being there.
There was a recruit next to me, like during the first week of boot camp. Like I got there, like I met my drill instructors on my birthday. Like
for Black Friday was your birthday?
Black Friday was my birthday. That's the day I turned 18, and I was like, yeah, great birthday present.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, this is great. I didn't tell anybody, so they didn't know, but
that's good. That's very smart.
Yeah, so there's this guy named Wiggins. Yeah, funny name. He was pretty cool. He was actually making the drill instructors mad because they couldn't find anything wrong with his uniform at the beginning. Yeah, and they were like, what eventually got him, I think, is that the drill instructor came over and like purposely undid one of his pockets.
And he's like, ah.
Yeah, and he's like, ah, gotcha. And they sent him to the quarterdeck. You know, he was like, really.
So can you explain what the quarterdeck is? Because I don't even know what that is.
All right, so the quarterdeck. Okay, so you have your barracks. Okay.
Rectangle.
Yeah, rectangle. All right. So you have all your racks, and then towards the front you have your head and your showers.
Okay.
And the front hatch. Okay, and like the drill, like the duty hut. Okay.
Okay.
So the quarterdeck is that empty space at the front door, and the head and the duty hut. So before all the racks. So that's the quarterdeck.
Okay.
Also, if you guys don't know about Brown Saturday.
I don't even know. No, I don't know.
You've never heard about Brown Saturday?
All right. Friday, yeah, but no, not Brown Saturday.
All right. So since you're here, you're gonna go to the West Coast, all right? So whenever you go to Camp Pendleton, there's a day, I think it's like 2 weeks after you get to Camp Pendleton the first time, all right? Okay. You will have a day, and it's called Brown Saturday. It's where the drill instructors literally have a time to set aside just to mess with you, like your whole thing. That's the day where they will make you take all of your racks outside. You will throw all your shoes. They completely destroy everything just to do it.
Yeah.
You like
just to get
it. Just it seems like you guys are doing everything wrong, but it's literally in the schedule. So, like, people were getting so mad at each other because they thought that they weren't doing everything right. That one recruit actually started to choke out another recruit. Oh. Yeah. The drill instructors never found out about that one. So.
That's good. So that's like a week and a day after Black Friday?
Something like that. It's
allegedly.
Like, yeah, like they missed it and they put it on a Sunday for us, but it's like, gotcha. It's typically a Saturday. Okay. So.
All right. So after boot camp, so what was your MOS?
My MOS is a 0621 field radio operator.
Okay.
And it's super cool. I love it.
I guess we should jump back first and let's talk about MCT. So how did that compare to boot camp? So
MCT compared to boot camp, night and day. So you're already a Marine at this point, so they kind of give you some more flexibility. It's pretty easy, honestly. I mean, you do some more hikes. My MCT, honestly,
15K, the 10K.
Yeah, my MCT was probably a little bit easier than some because it was like right around Thanksgiving time frame.
Oh, okay.
So we actually did the reverse hike. So you'll go to like the range where you learn about the M240 Bravo machine gun and things like that, and you're supposed to hike from the range back to the barracks. But we hiked from the barracks to the range, and then we got on buses and we went back, and we got to spend some more time with our family. So that was pretty nice. But don't expect that all the time.
That's true.
That's probably not going to happen for you. But yeah, so it was night and day, super easy. It's kind of cold, so if you're kind of going in like December-y time frame, which is when I was there, or like November, December, I would bring hand warmers.
Okay.
They yelled at me saying that hand warmers weren't authorized, but it's okay.
Okay, so then out of boot camp, what did you graduate as? Did you get to up or anything?
No, I didn't get 2 police to sign on. I didn't do any of that. Didn't do guide or squad leader, so I was a private.
Gotcha.
Sad days, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you got to work your way up, right?
Yeah.
So, let's see. So you went right after MCT, you went to your radio schooling?
Mm-hmm.
And so where was that? How long was that? What was that like?
The infamous 29 Palms.
Ah, yes.
Yep. I went in December, so it was freezing cold.
Desert.
Standing in formations for 8 hours. That was great. So they didn't have any schooling open because it was Christmas time, and so they gave some people the option to go home for the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go home for the holidays because there was no point. And so if you're a reservist, you build up leave days. And so they were saying, like, your schoolings are too short to build up enough leave days if you wanted to stay longer, whatever, something like that. But at the end, whenever you go back to your home as a reservist, they will sell all your leave days back to you.
Okay.
So they'll give you money for those days.
Okay.
And so I was like, I'll just save whatever leave days I have, and I will hang out here with some other Marines. So it was pretty chill. The chow hall at 29 Palms is great. I love it. I kind of miss it. I went to 29 Palms again this summer,
Mm-hmm.
but that was for some other training stuff. And I kind of cheated the system because I know my way around stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So as a reservist, what do your duties include? Generally.
As a typical reservist, it's 1 weekend a month or 2 weeks out of the year. So what that means is every month you will be gone for at least 2 days. So like for instance in December, I'm gonna have it's called an 8-day drill. So 1 day counts as 2 drills. Okay. So one normal day counts as 2 drills. So you have a certain amount of drills you have to fill up for the year to have a quote unquote SAT year. And so I'm going to have an 8 drill, so that means I'm going to be there for 4 days. So we're going to go out to the field and we're going to do some stuff. And then the 2 weeks out of the year, they'll pick 1 month sometime, typically in the summer, at least for my unit, where you'll go somewhere or stay at home, like in Texas, and do something with the Marines for 2 weeks straight.
So it's in Texas?
No.
No?
Not always. So like this summer, I went to 29 Palms again, and then in March I'm probably gonna go to Latvia, so that's over in Europe.
Cool.
And so that's like just north of Poland. It's gonna be like freezing cold. It's gonna be great.
Yay!
Choice.
Can't wait.
Awesome.
Okay, so out of the places you've gotten to travel to for being a reservist, where was your favorite place?
I think I said that. You said in the U.S. or whatever. So it was gonna be Marathon, Florida. I got activated for the Hurricanes.
Cool.
I got sent down there as like the only Marine from my unit to go, and I was attached to them to provide support. So here in Fort Worth, we were the oversight unit, so we were controlling all the relief efforts for Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma. And so they sent me down to Marathon, Florida, which is in the Florida Keys. So I got to take a C-130 trip and sit in like the cockpit, and I got like my radio headset, so like I can hook into the AC-130 and talk to the pilots.
Like, hey guys.
Yeah, for real.
That's super cool.
It was pretty cool. So that was definitely one of the highlights for me, mostly because it just showed that I know my stuff, so they sent me places.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you get a chance to interact with the natives or the culture there?
They more interact with us because I was part of a refueling area, so we were keeping the airlift supports going and things like that.
Okay.
So there were some people who would bring us food, so we didn't
nice.
have to eat MREs all the time.
It's nice.
Yeah, I got to try a real coconut that we found on the ground. Probably wasn't perfect, but I still got to try it. Some Marines messed with some crabs and scorpions and made them fight. So, you know, so if you ever see those people in like Iraq and they have like a spider and a scorpion and they're like fighting, kind of like Jarhead. Yeah. So that's how it was.
Did you drink the coconut or did you eat it, or both?
Both.
So had you just crack it open?
Yeah.
Or did you like try to jab a star?
Yeah, we had a gunning sergeant. He was like super buff. He like smashed it on a rock.
He's like,
Yeah, I swear, he like smashed it on a rock and he like busted it open. So I got to try some coconut milk and then some coconut skin on the inside. It's not as sweet as you think. The coconut milk was good. That could have also been because it probably wasn't ready yet.
Oh, okay.
But,
wasn't like ripe enough.
Yeah, but it was still cool. I still got to try it. But a lot of the food that they gave us was pretty awesome. There was a guy there who had like a hangar at the end of the runway.
Yeah.
He had like $1 million planes in there because he did like a lot of mosquito spraying.
Oh.
So he let us go into his hangar and take showers and stuff, which was nice.
That's really nice.
Yeah, while we were there, we had to sleep out on the ground outside the hangars on the runway. We didn't have cots, so I requested some cots and stuff like that. Cause
did you have tents?
No, we didn't have tents.
Was it just the temperature was okay?
It was humid. It was real humid, like super humid all the time.
Cause you're all the way in the Keys, right? So you're on the super on the tip.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, so you had a chance to do boot camp, then MCT, then your MOS school, all back to back to back. So once you finally got all the way done with that in around a year, right? How was adjusting back to civilian life?
It was pretty simple. After boot camp, you get your 10 days of leave if you want to use them. Mm-hmm. I used them, and so I got to come back, and the drill instructors and all of them, they all say, don't drive. You've been walking around for miles for 3 months straight. You're probably not accustomed to driving a car.
Huh.
I didn't listen to them, and I drove all the way to Houston, so that was like a 5-hour drive, and then I drove all the way back the same day just to go see a friend. It was pretty easy. Nothing really changed. Luckily, I knew some good people out here, and I already had a job set up or lined up, or a couple different routes that I could go.
Yeah.
So it was pretty easy as far as that went. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Would you go back and do it all again?
100%.
Awesome.
Knowing what I know now is great.
And then, what 3 words would you use to describe military life and your like career so far?
Best choice ever. Like, those are probably the 3 words that sum it up. You get a lot of people who say that, oh, the Marine Corps is terrible, or I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. No, they just made their own time miserable. The Marine Corps, and you'll hear it all the time if you join, that the Marine Corps is what you make it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you get what you put in, right? So
yeah.
I'm working my butt off to like get promoted and things like that. And I have billets, and I have like authority over junior Marines. Even though we're the same rank, I have authority, and they're my Marines, and I take care of them.
What's a billet?
So a billet is like, so just because I'm a Lance Corporal,
mm-hmm.
I'm still a fire team leader, and that gives me the billet of a corporal. So I have the corporal's authority. Okay. But as a Lance Corporal.
So you have authority over your fellow E3s.
Right. In some regards, I can't just straight up tell them, I got told to go do this. Right,
but in your fire team.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got to take care of them.
Goes to a random Lance Corporal on another base. Hey, I have a billet.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
No, that's definitely not how it works.
Yeah.
It's just.
Okay.
Yeah, my unit takes forever to promote, so I'm on kind of like a waiting list, but I'll get there. But it is what you make out of it. So
yeah, that's awesome.
100%. It's all you.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your time. God bless you. Thank you, man.
Thank you.